Hello, my name is Aaliyah Gage, and today I'll be talking about Rebbeca Protten and how she can be used by educators as a model for social responsibility. When I first read of Rebbeca, I felt drawn to her drive, ambition, and advocacy skills for those who were less fortunate than her. As a school counselor myself, I felt that Rebbeca could be an excellent model for educators to follow when providing opportunities for students. I'll start off by talking about the background of Rebbeca. Where did she come from and what did she do? Rebbeca was first born into slavery in 1718, where she was eventually kidnapped and sold to a planter on the island of St. Thomas. It was here where she was converted to Christianity as an adolescent and began reading the Bible. Her owners were really proud of her conversion and her accomplishments in reading and understanding the Bible. It was then that Rebbeca gained her freedom when she accepted a job as a house servant with her previous owners. Rebbeca began to partner with a local church called Moravian Church, where she continued her work as a Christian, becoming the first African American woman to be an ordained minister. Rebbeca began to teach other slaves of the gospel and convinced plantation workers to allow her to speak of missionary work on the plantations to those that were still enslaved. Rebbeca was a woman of great faith that used her knowledge and power to teach enslaved African Americans of the Word of God. Without Rebbeca, many of these enslaved people would have never heard the Word of God. Now that we know and understand the background of Rebbeca a little bit better, we can really dive into what this means for educators today. Rebbeca is a true role model for all today, especially those within the education field. Her commitment to the Christian faith and the enslaved people was a true testament to her role as a model of social responsibility. Not only did she take it upon herself to learn to read and write and understand the Bible, she also took it upon herself to teach enslaved people that may not have received the same opportunity as her. On top of that, she was also an advocate for different plantations for missionary work to be allowed for the enslaved individuals. On many plantations, this would not have been allowed, and Rebbeca was one of few that did reach out to get these opportunities for the enslaved people. Rebbeca was a role model for social responsibility because rather than take her opportunity to learn for herself and not share her knowledge, Rebbeca made it her mission to allow others that may not have had similar opportunities to also be able to hear the Word of God. I believe this relates to the social responsibilities of educators today because, one, educators have a responsibility to teach their students despite their backgrounds. Much like Rebbeca, with the enslaved African Americans, educators can teach students from different socioeconomic statuses, racial statuses, ethnic backgrounds, and many other backgrounds as well. There will always be students that were not given the opportunities that others were given. But these opportunities can be differentiated by educators and can ensure that these students receive equivalent education and similar opportunities that they may not have received beforehand. Rebbeca is a role model for educators to strive and provide differentiation for all students and go above and beyond for their students as well, especially those that may need that extra help. Personally, I believe that Rebbeca's philosophy of education relates very heavily to mine. I believe that all students should be able to receive the same opportunities despite their backgrounds, and much like Rebbeca, I believe that this philosophy of education can really make a difference in students' lives. Educators today have the social responsibility to use their knowledge that they gain through their extensive schooling to help the students in need from all backgrounds and all different statuses.